We take pride in delivering exceptional customer service to our customers. Here's what some of them have to say.
They keep us posted at every stage. We get phone calls saying it's going to the paint shop or the parts have come in, and they've always just exceeded everything that we hope to have.
They do absolute fantastic work. Never have any complaints from anybody I know. My family has gone to them, my friends. I refer everybody I know to Evans Body Shop.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, some areas of fog to start, then sunshine. Our high temperatures in the low to mid 80s. We're going to be clear to partly cloudy tonight. Overnight low will drop down into the low 60s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine. A high in the mid 80s north, low 90s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith, broadcasting live from the Busch Light Studios. This is the morning.
Watches it get out of here. Tackle sets and heels. He struck him out swinging. And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
So it's great to be with my partner Matt Jones and Christian Johnston. We've got Hall of Famer Clay Henry with us for the first couple of hours. Bring him in a moment here. Matt, yesterday, I felt like a zombie from that 6-hour drive after a 4-hour game Sunday. Tried to get to sleep as early as I could, but just still couldn't do it until about 10:30. But just one night of sleep is all it took. Back to feeling human again, or however close to human I can get.
Yeah, it was a long Monday yesterday. That's for sure. I think we got through it, and then look at the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, they don't have anything to do with that, I guess, but they get the number 1 pick in the NBA draft.
First person I'm thinking of, maybe first person you're thinking of, is our friend Sea Maverick across from you in studio.
Do you trade for Giannis? What do you do? Like if you're do you draft Cooper Flag?
I think you go with Flag.
Let me get your thoughts in a moment here, all right, Christian? Because we got some time to kick that around. I feel good for you. Let's bring on Clay Henry, features editor. You can read him at Whole Hog Sports, joining us today instead of tomorrow. Because so I made the drive from Baton Rouge to Little Rock after Sunday's game. You're going in the opposite direction, and you're going a little bit longer.
Yeah, this is Covington, Louisiana, which is north of the lake. I'm playing a member guest golf tournament with David Cottrell, who's a diehard Razorback and a leadership coach. He's written 40, 50 books. And he's having me to his home in Covington, and we're going to play at Money Hill Golf Club.
Okay.
His club, yeah. And I think that's at Beta Springs. Covington and Beta Springs, same place. But, yeah, I'll take a little different route than you did. I will go due east to Jonesboro from Norfolk, and then I'll hit I-55 in Jonesboro over to Memphis, and then down through the heart of Mississippi, straight into to Covington.
Well, sounds like
I will not go through Baton Rouge. I'll be east of there.
Stay away from Lake Providence too.
Got it.
You probably know that for a fact as many times. You may have driven down there anyway.
Speed trap.
Yeah. One of those speed traps.
Did you meet somebody there?
Early in the morning.
A new trooper is your friend?
I don't know if I was polite. I don't know if we're friends. We're not enemies, but just 2 in the morning. I'm not 1 in the morning. Whatever time it was, I'm not into making friends on the side of a road.
Yeah, I saw this Earl Buckingham, who's a former Razorback football player, really a good lineman. He made a trip to Louisiana for some kind of a reunion, maybe a graduation ceremony for a relative. This past week or 2 weeks ago, and in the mail he got 2 speeding tickets.
In the mail?
In the mail. He went through, I think, Winsboro, which I believe might be Marvin Caston's hometown, and they got him on camera, on radar, that they can just spit out the tickets and mail them to you. Never was stopped. He got 2 of those.
Yeah,
going through municipalities.
The app that I use will tell you when those cameras are there. So it wasn't that. It was the policeman that's able to drive on the opposite direction of you.
Yeah, and he's coming right at you. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way to. I guess
he's gonna his radar is gonna hit you before you realize he's there.
It's pretty much what happened.
Yeah. So I got stopped years ago going to an LSU Arkansas game in Winsboro. It was about 4 or 5 years after Michael Snowden had finished playing. Michael was from that area too, I believe. That might not be the right town, but right just as soon as you pass Tallulah and you're going through, and I was driving too fast. There wasn't any doubt. It was on 2-lane, and I got pulled over, and I asked the trooper, did he know Michael? Yeah, second cousin, his uncle. And we talked a little bit, and I told him I covered Michael, and he didn't give me a ticket. So Michael got me out of a speeding ticket in his hometown without knowing it.
Man, if only it was the same policeman and I knew Michael, it might have actually worked out in my favor this time.
Yeah. You know what? It's always worth a try. You never, sometimes that doesn't work, but, he was really nice, and we talked a little while. I've gotten out of some speeding tickets for a few times. In the early days of Hogs Illustrated, I registered a company car. It was a Chrysler Cirrus, about 6-7 years old. I bought it cash, made it the company Hogs Illustrated car, and it was registered to Hogs Illustrated Inc., the corporation. And I get pulled over, and they'd run my plates, and it'd say Hogs Illustrated Inc., and trooper would come around. My wife, it just burned her up. It's like, hey, you're the guy I listened to on the radio. And the next thing you know, I don't have a ticket.
I'm not sure if they listen to halftime or Razorback radio broadcasts.
But you don't have halftime Inc.
In that part of Louisiana, probably not so much.
No, this would be Arkansas. Yeah.
Well, I'd even forgotten that there was the draft lottery yesterday, but I'd seen people putting the videos of the famous frozen envelope lottery in which the Knicks got the number 1 overall pick and they end up picking Patrick Ewing and figuring, well, this one was in the bag. And of course, everything's a conspiracy now. And so this was obviously the way it was supposed to work out. Nico Harrison knew it from the start that if he traded, well, it wasn't even about this. It's like Matt, when you sat down in your locker at the Jaguars facility and you got your preseason NFL script for exactly every play you're supposed to run and every pass you're supposed to catch and allow yourself to be tackled in a very specific spot. This is the same thing. It's all pre-planned. This had been in the bag from the start. So, see, Maverick, all it was a deep fake to get you to lose your fandom for the Mavs for maybe a couple of months and then be really fired up about it again. Do you believe in all this kind of crap? Because I don't.
Yeah, this is what I needed for me to kind of choose a side. I'm staying with the Mavs, and it is a little fishy. And I'm not going to say there's not that stuff that goes on. I mean, when Luka got traded initially, I was like, yeah, there's something up with this, and then this kind of solidifies maybe that suspicion a little bit, but I don't care. I'm a Mavs fan, so obviously this works out. And 1.8% chance when it said that Mavs had that low percentage, and then like 30 minutes later the Mavs have won the number 1 overall pick. It does kind of raise some eyebrows.
Was this a lower percentage than when the Spurs landed Tim Duncan? Because that was the last one that I don't know if everybody was like, well, they're in the bag for this, because I don't think that was the situation. It wasn't a trade or anything that put them in that situation. But I don't remember people feeling like anyone was in the bag for the Spurs, like they feel they may be in the bag for the Mavs.
Well, they showed how they do it. I mean, they showed that, there was no...
There are third parties involved in this that are supposed to be independent, like Deloitte and Touche is supposed to be for whenever the NCAA is able to settle this house settlement, if it ever really happens. Well, you get a third party that's unaffiliated that's supposed to be the watchdog over the NIL deal. So, I mean, you got to do the same thing with a draft lottery. I don't know if you got to do the same thing with a Razorback raffle, which was released earlier today at 8 o'clock. It's just the idea, well, somebody else has to hold the money and then disperse it to half to the Razorback Foundation, half to the winner, and finally we get this thing going after the back and forth fights between the casinos, and I'm not sure if either of them are happy with it, but I think looks to me like the Razorback athletic department is pretty happy with it. And for something that was released about almost exactly 3 hours ago, they already have a little under $8,000 in the jackpot. So by the time this is drawn, and this will be drawn, I guess, Saturday at the baseball game, I mean, you're gonna have, I don't know, it'll certainly be 5 figures. I mean, if you can get $10,000 in less than a day, in less than half a day, what can you pick up in the next 4 days? I mean, you're talking 50 grand, 60 grand, something like that. Pretty, people get on that pretty quickly. So,
what would you do with the money, Phil, if you won?
That's a good question. Buy more raffle tickets? Donate it to the Razorback Foundation so you can get better seats at football games and basketball games? But then that got to be an annual donation, so it can't just be the one-off thing. What would I do with that money? We always think, well, you're going to invest some of it. Not all of it. Can't invest all of it. You got to have a little bit of fun with at least some of it. I think I'd buy tickets to some baseball series at some major league park I've never been to in July and just plan a trip.
I figured you'd go to a Weird Al concert.
I already have the tickets for that.
But there'll be another one.
Well, yeah, but it's one time will be enough for this tour.
Maybe if you buy a special ticket, like Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory ticket or something like that, that you can get into backstage to meet. Have you met Al?
Yeah, that would have been the summer of 22. Yeah. Matty T and I got to shake his hand and say something to him at the Tulsa Theater.
What did you tell him? What'd you tell him?
I told him he was my hero. I mean, what are you supposed to tell somebody that's had an influence upon you since you were 6? Yeah, I gathered up the courage and told him exactly what I thought of him, just like I did with Jeff King 2 weeks ago. It's not often you get a chance to meet your heroes. They tell you don't meet your heroes, but actually my experience has been pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah,
I thought it was pretty good. One Weird Al show this summer will be enough. It'll be August in Little Rock. I'm taking the kids. Outside of that, it would be what major league park have I never been to that I'd like to go to? Seattle. So Seattle's a great city. It's never too hot. They can put the roof over the park if it starts raining. The food's outstanding in that city. Only been there once. Would love to go again. And why not? Seattle. That's where I'd go. You put me on the spot. Anybody else?
Go up the Space Needle, right? Yeah,
I guess. I mean,
all
I'm not,
that stuff. Yeah,
I'm a little afraid of heights now. I even got crept out. There's a video I saw of a kid that climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, and he's got his selfie stick, and he you can see puts it all the way up, and you can look all the way down to the street from there. And I'm watching it on my phone, and I'm feeling scared.
That bothered you?
That never happened until about a year ago. I was never afraid of heights. I mean, I went to the top of the Empire State Building. I've been to the top of the old World Trade Center, before the terrorists knocked it down. I used to love going on the top of tall buildings. I don't know if I could pull that off now.
It bothers me too. It bothers me. We did the Grand Canyon, drove out to Vegas for the Vegas Bowl, and came back, to the South Rim, spent a night there, and everybody but me and my family hung their legs off the edge and swung them back and forth. I was like, y'all get back away from there.
Do they have one of those bridges at the Grand Canyon that's made of glass that I've seen? They're like the glass staircase.
I didn't see that. They could very well have that.
Oh, my gosh. Matt, Christian, would you guys be able to walk on a glass bridge over anything?
The Sky Deck in Chicago is the closest thing I've been to glass, over on a tall building, but I wouldn't get very far, I don't think.
What about a glass
would it freak
boat?
you? Would
a
it
glass
freak you?
boat? I mean, a glass boat would be cool. I'm not afraid of
looking at the wildlife.
I'm not afraid of the deep sea, but I think I didn't realize it's not like a choice that I made. Did anybody ever make a choice of being afraid of heights, or did it just happen to you? Because that's what happened. It just happened to me in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
I used to be all about it. I love roller coasters. Do I want to go on one again? I don't know. Who wants to be the one sitting next to me at the next one I go to? Because I might be afraid now.
So my fear is that my family was there. I didn't like that. I mean, it wasn't me. I was back 20 yards. I was like, I'm not going up there. I can see over down in there. I don't need to have my legs swinging. And I did a horseback trip up in the mountains in Colorado to go fishing. And the two guys I was with, we tied our horses up and walked over to the edge of a cliff that's 2,000 feet straight down. I was like, no, I'm not going over there. And it's like, you're safe. You just peek down and look straight down. I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
This is probably the way I'll test this to see if this actually is a thing. Because you remember I spoke about a trip to Shea Stadium with my first girlfriend. I think this was the summer of '97. And we went, she's a Mets fan, we got upper deck seats against the Dodgers on it was Korean/Dominican Day, and it was a very interesting day. But I mean, the upper deck was pitched at such an angle that it was frightening, even just to sit in your seats, much less get up and then try to walk to the tunnel to get out. If I get, no, I'm going to buy. Then I'll buy. So it's only if I'm win. Now I don't think I can win the Razorback raffle, Clay. Probably not allowed to. I don't think it would be a good look.
The fix would be don't tell anybody.
The fix would be in at that point. Yeah. Voice of the baseball team wins the first ever Razorback raffle and uses money he spends all the money on baseball tickets in Seattle so he can see and sit in the very last row in the upper deck to test if I'm actually really afraid of sitting in the upper deck of a ballpark.
So have either one of you, Matt, Phil, gone and sit in the first row of the upper deck at Razorback Stadium? That's steep.
You mean the one all the way at the top?
Yeah. I mean, I think you need seatbelts up there.
And then look over to the other side.
Yeah.
It's like not of the row in front of you. Look over to the other side.
Yeah.
No, I've been up there, but it's again, you can't plan it. It's just all of a sudden your knees start to shake just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Well, happy to have you today, early one day today, Clay, so you can get on the road tomorrow and not have to worry about it all that much. We'll have Alyssa Orange with us about an hour from now. Bill King at Nashville Sports Radio in hour number 2. Got a big week of bat and ball sports coming up. Hopefully the softball team will be celebrating a Fayetteville Regional Championship by the end of the weekend, and the Razorback baseball team hopefully celebrating the first thing would be just a series win, then top 4 in the SEC, and then worry about being top 8 national seed, which you can basically all clinch by at least winning 2 games against the orange-clad Volunteers.
I got a question for you.
Shoot.
So we had a baseball game Friday. It was Friday, right?
Friday into Saturday, yeah. It would encompass parts of both days.
Over at 117.
It was.
So this is a question. Was that the quickest post game you've ever done?
No.
I did the quicker ones.
Yeah, I've had quicker ones. I tried to get in and out, but that was actually still too much of a. You still had to describe what happened in the post game. Yeah, but I could have. Even if I try to make it as fast as possible, the commercial breaks are going to still take it to about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do about that.
Okay, so it's 1:17 when it's over. 20 minutes. It's 1:45. So you get to your car. What time did you get to your? Now you're in a private car. You're not on a team bus, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So when did you get to your room? What time did you get to sleep?
I didn't get to sleep until about 3:30. It wasn't going to happen quickly. It can't. I mean, I even had to watch a show. I mean, it's got to. There's certain things I have to get to before I go to sleep, and it's going to take at least an hour once I get in there. I mean, that all it did was just prepare me for going to sleep again at 3:30 in the morning, Monday morning when I drove in from Baton Rouge. So that was just preparation. That's all it was. I should be thankful for
trial run.
That's right. Just a trial run at doing radio the next day when you feel like absolute crap. That's why I'm really happy I feel like a regular human today.
I went and watched SportsCenter after the game. I couldn't go to sleep either. It was later than you. I couldn't wind down.
You remember that the 2017 regional game that went to about 3:30 in the morning? I didn't go to sleep until the sun was awake. And
I didn't have the one with Missouri State.
That's right. I didn't have a thing to drink except water. That was it. Nothing to drink. And still not asleep until the sun was up.
So
that was rough.
So I covered that. And Matt Jones and I were working on different things. I was writing a column and something else, and we filed our stories at daybreak. Sun was coming up, 5:45 or 6. That's when we filed our stories, and it's like, well, I don't really want to go to sleep now. So I went to the office and I worked at home, went home and worked, and thought, well, I'll just slide into bed when I get done. But it's like, okay, everybody's up now. I guess it's too late to go to bed now. So I just kind of worked through that day.
I did manage to do the game the next day, later on that afternoon and evening without falling asleep. And if you remember hearing yesterday, there was one pitch that I fell asleep for during a Travelers game after a 10-hour drive to San Antonio. So it's only happened once. Won't ever happen again. We'll break here. Open up the Lewis Automotive hotline for the upcoming segment, 877-377-6963. Good to be with you today. It's halftime, and we're right back.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
White perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacalé, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Take that all day.
I need to sit though.
Finally make a putt. What though? Tap in pars.
Golf is back. Shop polos, hoodies, and Q-zips at rowback.com.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet online. The game starts here.
For the ones who get it done.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did. Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
That's the blues. The song plays on the radio. Why come your face? To a little face.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Who's ready for your first 90-degree day? Where I live, it's going to be 90 degrees tomorrow. To me, that means summer is arriving. Saw some really cool videos of Razorback fans listening to either Saturday and or Sunday's baseball games while they were floating on, I don't know if it was the Buffalo or one of the other floatable rivers in our fine state. But I always get a kick out of seeing people listening to games while they're out on the water. How do you like to listen to the games? I know usually you're in the car, but my favorite thing is to see the people are on boats. Not a glass-lined boat necessarily, Matt, but certainly a boat with a paddle or a couple of oars and just taking in the scenery with the transistor radio, and it was a transistor radio. It was not a phone that the person was using, because in some of these spots there's no cell phone signal. You can get your radio signal, and probably listen on our Harrison Mountain Home affiliate when you're on the Buffalo listening to these games. How do you listen to the games? 877-377-6963. With Tennessee coming up this weekend, I figure there's going to be a lot of people that are very interested in this, just because of the brand name of Tennessee now, defending national champions, the connections between the two programs, which it still is. Man, it still is it's kind of amazing to see the differences in how the emotion is displayed outwardly between two programs that are run by people that work together for so long, and obviously would kind of have at least some kind of similar thinking in certain circumstances. But if you were also to watch kind of the way that, and I'm not saying this in a point fingers at them, oh, I can't believe you act like this way, but the bubble over of the emotion from Tennessee, and even in wins and losses, and how Arkansas just is not like that. But it's not just Tony. I mean, Tony, of course, worked for Dave for, 5 or 6 years. Josh Elander, who is Tony's top assistant, was a graduate assistant at Arkansas. And then there's Luke Bonfield, who's played 4 years at Arkansas. I mean, they're all really competitive, emotional people. But when they were working at Arkansas, I guess they had to tamp it down just a little bit. Tony certainly did, even though I'd see him blow up when he was the third base coach. Now he does it in the dugout.
Down the line. He'd come running down the line. He got ejected some. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I go back to my good friend Chris Mortensen, who was a huge Arkansas baseball fan. Senior NFL analyst for ESPN, lived in Tiny Town his last few years, was in Bella Vista before that. But he was a, beat writer for LA Dodgers and Atlanta Braves. He covered the Dodgers for the Orange County Register. And he just loves baseball. And he went to some baseball games when his son was playing football at Arkansas. And he just fell in love with the way Dave Van Horn ran his team. I mean, just a business-like approach, Major League Baseball approach. And, you can have emotions, you can be intense, but it doesn't bubble out of the dugout, like you said. And he talked about that a lot to me. I'm talking about Chris Mortensen, and just fell in love with everything that Dave did. And, and he talked about, some of the other programs. I don't think I ever heard him talk about Tennessee, because we didn't have those conversations in the last couple of years. They were about other stuff, health and that kind of thing. But he did talk about Ole Miss and the way they acted with they kind of the little league dugout look. Would you say that'd be the accurate way to describe? And I don't mean in a bad way, but they just had.
That, to me, because that's the first team that I remember doing like just outward home run celebrations. The boom, that was where the boom thing came from. Yes, now you get teams that are booming doubles and singles, and there's a little bit of a kind of, I guess, an odd look at me quality. I think to Ole Miss, and just sort of the ways that they pal around with each other. To me, it comes across as eyewash. Look at us. Look at how much we love each other. That kind of thing. The way they hang out in front of the dugout while they're watching their intro video. The Tennessee thing is a little different. It's this chest out, just super bravado. We don't care if you beat us. You can't say a damn thing to us. It's like, how dare you? How dare you have the temerity to beat us in a baseball game, or beat us in a series, or actually do it here on our field, or tell us that you just beat us. Like, I've seen Arkansas. So, like the Razorback players get emotional sometimes, but where they direct their emotion is towards their own dugout. Even Gage Wood, like when Wood threw those 4 innings against Texas, and he's got his nose open, and it looks like he's staring at the other player. I mean, truthfully, he's staring at his catcher. He's hyping up his own dugout. That's what Vahiva has done a couple times. He's hyping up his own dugout. It's not directed at the other team. and I think Tennessee, always feels like something is always directed towards them. And maybe it is now because they did the directing towards the opponent for the previous 4 or 5 years. I mean, you're talking about the program that had the star hit a home run and raise his middle finger while he's running around the bases. And they had guys wearing pimp coats when they came to celebrate their home run. That was the kind of thing I'm talking about. And I guess you can say, look, you lose, just put your tail between your legs and go home and go away. Sometimes it's just a little bit difficult for guys to do that, and I think at Tennessee it seems impossible for them to.
It's interesting because I've heard fans say, things like, well, if he was like that for our team, we wouldn't approve. I think that the home fans, embrace sometimes the emotion that comes out of the dugouts, like Tennessee. Tennessee fans, they don't care. He's our guy, and I've seen that in other fan bases. I wasn't a big fan of Eric Musselman taking his shirt off and waving it around, but I think by and large our fans they seem to enjoy it.
Look, I think
so when you win, things change.
That's what it is. The difference between being intensely competitive and being a clown is winning. That's in the way we would digest it, the way we would understand it. That's kind of the way that it kind of goes. 877-377-6963 for our Lewis Automotive hotline. We got a break here in a moment. We've got a caller on hold. We've got text to get to and lots more here on Halftime. Stay with us.
I really enjoy y'all's show. I put on the headset and get out and do my yard work and work on the porch and do whatever I need to do and listen to you guys.
This is Halftime.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. And you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
For 38 years, Mansfield Automotive Park City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle's needs. Keep draining your battery? Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep of your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Park City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. That's Mansfield Automotive Park City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield, open from 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday until 1 o'clock on Saturdays.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gastons, a first-class time, every time.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Every Thursday, take a trip down memory lane at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Joe's is bringing back the flavors you loved from Cuco's, the beloved restaurant that once called this place home. Join Joe's Grill and Cantina for Throwback Thursday and savor classic Cuco's dishes. It's the taste from the past with the vibrant atmosphere of Joe's. Don't miss out on the reunion every Thursday at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Come for the food, stay for the memories. 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Teach me a child after.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Yard work, trail ride, and just sitting around drinking beer was the text that I saw here. How they listen to the baseball games. There's some people that listen to the games even when we're on the road, and the broadcast is 2 pitches behind what they're watching, which I don't. I love all the listeners for baseball, every last one of you. But I wouldn't be able to listen to a game that was 2 pitches behind the game I'm actually watching. But I appreciate you doing it. Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and Brent in Searcy is here. What's up, Brent? How are you? Brent, hello. I don't hear anything there. I don't think Brent's there. 877-377-6963 to give it a try. Calls and texts. Let's see here. So we got into baseball. Did you see the Razorback Roadshow is going to be today in Searcy and Memphis. Searcy for lunch, Memphis for dinner. And a thing that I'm just reading in Whole Hog's coverage of this. I think it was Tom Murphy that wrote. And Hunter Yurachek was talking about a front office that Remy Cofield is building, the new general manager for the athletics department. And the words that stood out here for me is you're hiring people that on a sport-by-sport basis will be covering budgeting for the sport, player relations, and analytics, which is all the things that I think of when I'm thinking of what a general manager will do for a professional team. Cofield, of course, comes from basketball, but it sounds like he is the overall general manager, and then there will be, I don't know what the term would be, assistant general managers in charge of this sport and that sport. And the story only details people that are working for Cofield for baseball, both women's and men's basketball and football, which are the only sports which will be getting direct revenue share if this model works forward from the case that's in front of Judge Willikin right now. So I don't know if all the other sports won't have anybody kind of over top of them, with the exception of just their coach, thinking tennis, volleyball, gymnastics, all the others. But when I think of what a general manager does, assigning a value to every player, and even the players that you're looking to target in the portal, and maybe you look at the same way for incoming freshmen, what is it the organization values in terms of what an athlete is good at? Those would be the analytics and how to separate the wheat from the chaff in that case, and the budgeting, which, I mean, that's what all this is about. And then the player relations, which is kind of talking with your players about this is what we think, this is the negotiation aspect of it. The annual renegotiation, which you have to do, was what it seems like you're going to have to do. And I don't know if it's 2-year contracts or not, or if you just have to renegotiate anyway, because everybody's a free agent annually anyways.
Well, you can improve your stock. A guy that you think is this, and then he blossoms, and you might want to renegotiate. I think that happens, at all levels of pro sports, and boy, that's what we're at right now. If there's a guy that suddenly, I just wonder, like, for instance, Kahua, I can't say it, Kahio Aloy. I think his value has increased this year from what I thought he might be when they got him from the portal. He's going to lead the SEC in RBIs, right? Or he has a chance to. And what he gets next year might be a little more than what originally they thought.
Well, but so there also goes a conversation with Kahio about what's expected in the future. And I've already talked with Dave about this. Right now he doesn't have a position. He's only a DH.
Position. Yep.
And I think it's kind of difficult to assign top of the line value to strictly a designated hitter.
Well,
right?
If he leads the league in RBIs, I think you might can.
But if he leads the league in RBIs while he's playing right field, that's better than if he's just the DH.
So I think there's two different ways to look at this. His value as a fielder, as a position player, increases if he's good. If he can play right field and he's adequate, that's one thing. But if he's good in right field and he's good in the way the power numbers that he has, if he repeats that next year, we're talking about his pro value, not his value to Arkansas's baseball team. So there's what he would get in the draft and what he would be worth then is a different conversation. But he can be a DH for Arkansas, but I'm sure Dave doesn't want that. He wants him to reach his full potential and what he could be as a professional player, and that's going to be playing a position.
Well, yeah, nobody's getting drafted just as a DH. Just Matt Goodhart's an example. Really a terrific college hitter who didn't have a position to play. And he didn't go anywhere in pro ball because I think more than anything,
couldn't throw the ball.
It was he couldn't throw, and it's not that Kahio can't throw. In fact, he was a pitcher at BYU.
He's got a cannon
for fall.
Yep.
I do wonder about. It's also because there's just fewer ball players next year on every roster. There's fewer players. I guess not on men's basketball, but baseball. There's I think 6 fewer. Value can also be assigned to somebody that can go two ways. In a way that before, there's plenty of players right now that go two ways. We haven't had one at Arkansas in, it's been a long, long time since somebody did both things. I think even Josh Alberius. And Alberius didn't even do both at the same time. He just basically stopped hitting and became a pitcher.
Yeah, you're talking about Rodney Nye. That's the last one. And Barry Lunny played both ways, but he never hit. Rodney Nye, he could pitch it, and I guess you could probably there might have been. I'm going blank. The pitcher that hit the home run to beat Virginia in the College World Series. He played some center field and pitched. Who am I talking about?
That was before I was there.
Abner.
Brett Abner is exactly
Abner.
right. Yeah, he did some two-way stuff. And Blake Parker ended up pitching in the big leagues, but he didn't pitch at Arkansas.
He was just a catcher. Yeah. He only caught at Arkansas. But the thing is, so it's player relations, but this has also got to be agent relations too.
Correct.
That's who's doing the renegotiation. I'm guessing. Gosh, it's like everybody's got an agent in the NFL, just about, unless they're Lamar Jackson, I guess. And how many players on the Razorback roster have an agent? Like how much is there for those agents to actually try to take? And remembering there's no standard value or standard percentage that they'll take because there's no
union. Yeah, there's no union. NFL 3%, and that was one of these coaches I heard him were talking about. Some of these agents are taking up 20-25% of their funds.
Yeah, they take what they can get. It's like if somebody will sign a deal that for 25, then that's what they get. So the way I understand it, all this talk about the GMs and the different, levels that they'll have for some of the other sports, a guy that'll be over men's baseball, there's you need to have some experience in negotiating with agents, and that's what they've got in how they're building it. You want to keep the agents out of the head coach's office. You want to keep the agents out of the athletic director's office. That's, to me, just boiling it down to what's going on.
Yeah, and at this roadshow, it's like you can see just in the story that was written about what Hunter's talking about. He's kind of laying it out there. Here's this $20 million hole that's been blown into our budget that nobody was really ready for or knew was going to happen. Then it's right on you in about a year, and you got to plan for it. And now you're talking about this raffle comes out. This is all geared towards getting more revenue, new revenue streams to bring revenue into the athletic department so that the athletes can be paid. And you detailed about certain cuts, and I guess salaries are not rising either in terms of cost of living or any merit increases for anybody that's on staff in the athletics department. And then you talk about this new department. Yes, we're adding staff, but they're the ones that are in charge of this new money that we're all talking about right now. And this is the reason why they have this money. It's to be specific to each of their sport, and it's to filter the money in towards those players and make sure that it's being spent properly. Meaning, you know who to complain to when the roster might not be very good. That your general managers of each of these sports, I would think they don't have a last say, but their input, if they're the ones that are not dipping into, but I mean really into the analytics, when you're going out and signing players out of the portal, I mean, those are the ones that you have to have the conversation with. The coach has to go to this I'm just dreaming this up. It's like you would think this is the same idea in pro sports, but to me it feels like the GMs are the ones that are more proactive than the coaches. Here, for so long, a head coach was the general manager and the coach and the czar of that program while he or she ran it and had all the say in who's coming to play for him, or at least who he's going to accept to play for him and her. Now I wonder if there's a buffer, if somebody else has some say in this, or if it's just because you're not hiring these people on ceremony. And you're not paying them what you're paying them just to be a yes person. It's at least the way I would view it. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. I want to tell you about the Fence Man. If you're looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong, write down this number for the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. They've been serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, building custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. If you need automatic gates, the Fence Man does it. If you need financing, 18-month financing is available at the Fence Man. Just go online to thefencemanAR.com, or the number again, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work. Back in a moment, we'll wrap up the first hour of halftime.
You are very knowledgeable, and you keep it interesting.
This is halftime.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to make a difference for the environment while helping the visually impaired at the same time? Then donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind today by calling 1-800-983-6530. Every donated vehicle will either be properly recycled in an eco-friendly manner or given a new life through reuse. Donating your vehicle is easy. Simply call 1-800-983-6530 and Heritage for the Blind will do the rest. They'll even arrange for your vehicle to be picked up at no cost to you. And for a limited time, when you donate your car, you'll receive a $200 restaurant voucher and a 2-night, 3-day hotel stay at one of 50 locations. Call 1-800-983-6530 right now to schedule your vehicle donation and make a positive impact on the environment while helping others. Heritage for the Blind, where every car donation counts and every person makes a difference. Call 1-800-983-6530 now. This advertisement is paid for by Heritage for the Blind.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Now I need you, lady. You're my number 10 lover. Every night in a different place, I'm with you, tender lady. You're my number 10 lover.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Back on halftime, quick segment to wrap up hour number one. You can get with us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline anytime, 877-377-6963. More people here say that they listen to the games while they're at the stadium. I've wondered about this too, as I've seen some other schools that do this with football. I think some NFL teams may do this too. They'll travel with an FM transmitter, and they'll broadcast a small signal for your fans only on the road in the stadium. I thought that might be kind of a cool idea. So that way you wouldn't be listening to a game that's two pitches behind what you're actually watching. I don't know how people do that, man. I don't know how anybody does that. Clay, you guys, I mean, if I'm watching a football game,
I'd be up to date. I can't, I can't, the lag.
I don't know how to do it. And I know people that have figured it out where they can get the, what would you call it, simulcast, where they can get you and the TV to be about the same.
Yeah, but what if you're at the stadium? You know, you can't pause real life. It just doesn't work. Wouldn't that be really cool if we could do these with these Google Glasses that are now available in the neural implant at some point? If you could just pause life right in the middle of it so you could catch up, so you could catch up with the broadcast. It would be actually really, really cool.
You know, I've got a this is a sad moment, but I spoiled it for my wife. She's watching the championship game with Oregon State.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the one that we didn't win.
Yes, I remember that one.
And I called her after the ball had dropped, and then the hit had followed. And I didn't realize that she's streaming. She's watching it on a slow stream. It wasn't fiber optics. And I called her, and it's like, well, that's so sad. She hadn't seen it yet.
This may be the best way for that news to be digested, too, the way it went down. We're going into the second hour of halftime. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Alyssa Orange in about 20 minutes, and we are right back.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
It's all about connections. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center with Shared Beginnings invites you to their Community Connections event on Saturday, May 17th from 10 to 2. Everyone is invited to a fun-filled, action-packed day with vendors, food, car seat demonstrations, mommy makeovers, giveaways, games, and lots of fun. For more information about this event or to participate as a vendor, call 452-2260. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center with Shared Beginnings. The Community Connection event, May 17th.
Looking to protect yourself and your family this flu season? Law's Drug Store at 6802 Rogers Avenue offers the latest vaccines for adults and seniors in both COVID-19 and the flu. Law's Drug Store has friendly pharmacists ready to assist you with no appointment necessary. Call 452-6116. It's quick, it's easy, and in most cases, free with your insurance. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Open 6 days a week to care for you and your family.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Affiliates.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witts Marine on North 11th Street is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witts Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, some areas of fog to start, then sunshine. Our high temperatures in the low to mid 80s. We're going to be clear to partly cloudy tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 60s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the mid 80s north, low 90s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. Paris Sportsman. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Can I go so we can get home by 2 o'clock?
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, kids dominate, and we not doing it.
We're gonna go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they for one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
12:01. Good to be back here with you. Second hour, halftime on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. I'm Phil, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, and Hall of Famer Clay Henry. Read them on Whole Hog Sports here for this next hour. Alyssa Orange about 15 minutes from right now. Guys, I want to get into these comments from Colin Wilson of Action Network, talking on Andy Staples' On 3 podcast about according to Wilson, the wide receiver room, the wide receiver unit, went to Bobby Petrino and Sam Pittman after the season and said, Taylon Green's got to go or we're out of here. Now, the thing is when you're talking about the unit, we're not talking about Christian in this case. We're talking about an entire position group. But how many of these players would have actually said this in a meeting with the offensive coordinator and with the head coach? If you're just looking at the players who transferred, okay, there's Satania, there's Haz, there's Desmond James, there's Davion Dozier, there's Shamar Easter, the kid who just transferred out. It was a freshman that had never played for Arkansas. Quentin Murphy, his name, but he was only on the team for 2 months. Like Armstrong and Tesla were out of eligibility. This wasn't a matter of them going to the coach and saying, if he's here, we're gone. They were gone no matter what. Desmond James didn't get on the field very much at all until the Liberty Bowl. And, if they're thinking Satania has, that's a legitimate thing to wonder if either one of them or both of them may have actually said these things. Think of the tight ends that were booted off the team, Ty Washington and Varkey's Gums. They were kicked off the team. So, how many receivers could this have been? I would believe that somebody may have said that, because I think Isaiah Satania believes that he didn't get enough balls his way, and I think Luke Haas certainly believes that too. But I don't believe that the entire group of wide receivers made this claim or this demand.
If I was them, what I would have done is demanded that they get some offensive linemen to protect the quarterback. That had been my demands. It's like, if you get protections, it seems like the ball came out in a good way. And, at the Mississippi State game and a couple of others, when he had protection, he looked pretty good. So when he was running for his life, I know that the ball didn't get to open receivers.
And we had a fan type in, and it was a guy that did not perform well was Broden. Was he taking somebody? How many drops? I think he probably led the team in drops.
But that's also another player who was out of games. He was out of eligibility too. It's like his comment would not have mattered in that case.
So you figure that they didn't like so many balls going to Armstrong, right? That's probably what they were frustrated about. Is like, he's covered and he's getting the ball, and we're open. But it's he caught it. Some of the others didn't. I think that it came down to protection more than it did anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do think that they have really had a concentrated effort to get the ball in the middle of the field this spring. That was something that didn't happen. And I think that there's times the quarterback doesn't want to throw the middle of the field. That's where linebackers show up out of zones that you're confused. It's like, what are the coverage? You got mixed coverage. You got man and zone mixed together, and that's hard to recognize, especially when you're not getting protection.
Let's go to the phones. We got a couple of them on hold here at 877-377-6963. That's the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Lane in Cave City is up with us first. Hey, Lane, what's going on? Hello, Lane. I feel like we got a problem. I feel like there's a problem with the phones or something here, Christian, because that's the second caller where I don't hear it. I don't hear anything.
I was hoping we were going to get him because I want to know how the watermelon crop's coming along. It's early. But it's like Cave City's had their problems. They got hit by a pretty severe tornado. I know some of the farms, they lost some of their facilities. So I just want those watermelons coming in late June, early July, like normal.
All right. Well, the next one I'll try here is the tuna and see if Charlie works.
He doesn't know anything about the watermelons.
Charlie obviously knows how his phone works because he's been calling us since the show before the show ever started. Tuna, are you here?
I am here.
See, it works. Hi,
Phil,
we hear you. We hear you, Charlie, loud and clear.
You just needed my magic voice.
Yeah.
I can't help you with the watermelons, Clay. I'm really sorry about that. Tuna doesn't know anything.
Well, I've got no use for you then. I've got no use for you. Sorry.
I knew that was coming. But I did want to comment real quick. You made a good point, Clay. The thing is, on average, I just looked it up right as I was calling. I knew it was under 3 seconds. Now, this is in the NFL, probably similar in college. The average time to throw is 2.78 seconds. Now, that's just across the NFL average. I would say for Arkansas last year, it was probably under that. Now, look, I know the NFL and college are different, but I'm just saying there are times last year where it was probably under that. And how many times was Satanga or has even the second or third read in the progression of the play? And Matt, I know you know this too as well because you're playing quarterback. A lot of times, if it's man and you got one-on-one with Armstrong, I'm sorry. But when you develop that kind of connection with a player like that, and that's no offense to anybody else, but when it's man coverage and I got Andrew Armstrong out there, I'm probably going to throw to him too, especially as they develop that kind of chemistry. I'm not saying the other guys were not open at times, particularly Clay against zone coverage. But the thing about zone is if you can rush 4 and whip an offensive line in less than 2 seconds, which probably happened a lot, how many times did he even get to the second, the third, even the fourth? There's no way he probably ever got to the fourth read in his progression. So that's why I think when you're learning a new offense, it's not just the quarterback, it's everyone. The receivers, the offensive line has to block. And I don't care who you are as a receiver, you're not going to get the ball if the quarterback does not have time to throw, period. I mean, it's going to be difficult unless you're the first read every time in his progression. So, anyways, but Clay, you talked about that with the spring and everything. You've seen some of the practices and stuff. Does it look like he's really getting through his reads and progressions quicker now with his feet and things of that nature? Does it look?
Yeah, I mean, because
better?
I thought the protection was better. Now you have to be careful when you watch spring practice because you're practicing against yourself, and when you have more time, is it is that a problem with your defensive line? Or are the ends not getting off blocks? And they definitely had more time. Now, one of their big scrimmages, the blitz got to them. They did. And they saw a lot of man-to-man last year. It was a ton because they saw blitz packages, and it wasn't zone blitzes. It was man blitzes. And that's the nature of the SEC. In fact, Paul Petrino, when they came after their first year at Arkansas, that 4-7 year, asked him what kind of did he feel about the SEC, and he said it is a man blitz league. Man, it may have been always that way. You got great cornerbacks, then you can blitz, right?
Yeah, you got to have speed. You got to be able to get to the quarterback. No question about it.
Then you can, the thing about playing man, you could also, if you want to rush forward, keep that fifth guy in there and let him be a spy, which I think a lot of teams started to do with Taylor last year. Matt, I know for you probably – no one really wanted to play man coverage against Matt Jones, I mean, and then that group, I'm sure, because he was getting out of there. Anyways, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Charlie. Pinto's up next. Pinto, how you doing?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
I relate to one of your stories last week and tell you one of my stories. Bill, sometimes you just get touched, and they're a little emotionally touched, but that story you told about Jeff King and coming into your booth and your idol and the guy you adopted as, your player when you were a kid, that you told it so well. And honestly, man, it just kind of had one of those moments where it just kind of touched me, my soul, brother. I'm just telling you, it was pretty darn cool. And I'm happy for you that you got to have a moment like that.
Well, I appreciate that, Pinto. It was certainly probably more memorable for me than it was for him. So I don't think, maybe he felt it was pretty cool to meet the guy who's broadcasting Razorback games now, but I was kind of on cloud nine. I had to remind myself to call the game at the same time because it's like immediately I'm brought back to being 14, 15, and 16 again. But yeah, it was really cool.
Well, when I was about 10 years old in Little Rock, Clay, the Shack restaurant barbecue.
I do know it. My mother's favorite place.
Well, my mom took me there, and I'm about 10 years old, and lo and behold, who's eating at the shack but Lance Allworth? And he was my idol. And so my mom walked me over to his table, and honestly, I think she was more excited to see him than I was. You know what I mean? Because he was just like an Adonis. And she was so shook to see him, I believe herself, that she says to Lance, she points at me and says, "He's your idol." And talking like, "Lance, my son is your idol." Of course, Lance, he shrugged it off and gave me a handshake, and I was just on cloud nine getting to meet Lance Allworth.
He's a good dude. He really is.
Having a barbecue sandwich at the Shack restaurant in downtown Little Rock.
Yep.
It's too bad you didn't see him at a donut shop to see if maybe he dunks his donuts or not. Good to have you on here, Pinto. Thank you very much. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Hey, I want to remind you about Andy's Frozen Custard. It's lunchtime right now. You might be craving something sweet and delicious very, very soon. Andy's has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Got a good old-fashioned banana split, whole banana covered with delicious strawberries, marshmallow cream, crushed nuts, and topped with a cherry. And, of course, Andy's Frozen Custard underneath all of it. It's at all of Andy's locations within our listening audience and beyond. They're in North Little Rock, Conway, and in Fort Smith, as well as Northwest Arkansas. Andy's Frozen Custard, walk up or drive through, ready to serve you. In a moment, we're joined by Alyssa Orange on Halftime.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Today could have been a day where all they're scoring and we're not pitching real good and they got their guys going, but our guys wouldn't have any of it.
Back it goes. Get out of here. Big Country. A swing and a high drive to right field again for the second time in the game. Big Country. He hit it over the video board. It's swimming with the fishes.
I love the horns down. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better series than what we got right here.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals are just people. They've got their lives and families same as you and me.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sandy White Perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Dad all day.
I need to sit though.
Finally make a putt. Let's go tap in pars.
Golf is back. Shop polos, hoodies, and Q-zips at rowback.com.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet online. The game starts here.
Load from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Well, I knocked to a window to leave her a note. Will you come meet me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom. That sweet smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah. True love, goodbye.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, here's some news. Just saw a moment ago that Jace Brown, who was the wide receiver that had was a high school teammate of Madden Iamaliava, has been released from his scholarship at Arkansas, and I'm just assuming he'll end up at UCLA since that he had been committed with Madden after Madden decommits and goes to Arkansas. Brown follows him, so looks like he'll follow him back to UCLA. Anyway, that just came out a moment ago. Christina Long was on top of that from Whole Hog Sports. Let's go right to our Lewis Automotive Hotline, and Alyssa Orange is here with us. Alyssa, we missed you last week, but you were doing some hosting of your own on in Little Rock. How'd that go?
It was fun. I was no Phil Elson, but I had some fun with DJ Williams doing some stuff on the buzz while Justin Akery was gone. So my first taste of hosting a radio show, and I got to hand it to you guys. It's quite different, and a lot is different than being just like a 20-minute guest on the show with you guys once a week, but I had a blast doing it, and I understand now why you guys have so much fun on these radio shows.
She was nervous. I was texting her, last week, seeing how's it going. And she says, "I'll see if I can do this." But you're, come on. Is anybody out there who's ever had a moment to talk with Alyssa Orange thinks she can't host a radio show? Alyssa, you can host a radio show standing on your head with your mouth taped. Not with your mouth taped closed. You got to be able to speak. Yeah, you'd be able to. Otherwise, you're like made for it. So
you just talk.
Yeah,
that's all you
DJ
do.
DJ made it a whole lot easy. Yeah, just talk, which I have no trouble doing, and that goes all the way back to first grade, second grade, third grade when my report card said talk too much in class. So
talks too much in class. Yeah, but you have to be the ringmaster for the circus. 3 rings. Yeah, things are going on all the time. Yeah, I hosted.
Were you guys gonna just throw Clay Henry on me?
You didn't know I
Hi,
was here?
Clay.
He'd usually be here tomorrow, but he's driving to New Orleans tomorrow, so he's with us today instead.
I'm going to play in a golf tournament. Yeah, it's good to hear your voice, Alyssa. And
you too.
Yeah, I would have bet that you got marks in school for talking too much. I would just bet on that.
100%. Yes, 100%. Every time. It got to the point where my parents were just like, that's, we get it.
We're worried if you're
Sorry.
not talking too much.
Right, then something was wrong. Exactly.
Oh, man. Hey, big weekend of bat and ball sports coming up here. Bigger weekend for softball. Really big for baseball. I feel like one win is going to get you in the top 8. And so often we're focusing on the idea, well, they've lost whatever it is, 4 or 5 series, I think it is. The committee's not, I don't think the committee's looking at series. They're looking at wins. They're looking at an overall body of work. I don't think they're looking at like how you finish the season either. So yeah, Arkansas has lost 4 out of 5 series. They've won a game in every one of those series. And they've also swept a team in Vanderbilt that's fighting for a national seed. And, the sweeps also do count in the standings. So I think we overlook the series aspect of it a little too much. With that said, Alyssa, you're playing a team in Tennessee that's got the kind of quality that you'll face in a super regional. So you want to feel like you can win that series.
You do, and I think you're absolutely right, Phil, when you look at how Arkansas has played those series and, outside of Game 2 against LSU, the series that they lost were close and competitive for the most part, and that's what the committee is going to look at as well, especially in a league with the teams that Arkansas played who are playing as well as they are in the SEC. You look at Tennessee and what they're coming off with their series loss to Vanderbilt. You just want to finish strong, right? Like, I know everyone made a big deal about rankings and where Arkansas is after they beat Texas and then, after they lost to LSU and Baton Rouge, but rankings don't really matter at the moment. You just need to go play baseball and win this final regular season game and head into the SEC tournament. And I know we've talked about this before and how I feel about the SEC tournament and how much I don't think it really matters for teams like Arkansas what they do in those tournaments for their postseason spot. It's really how they finish this regular season. And I think Dave understands that. I also think, too, like you mentioned, Tennessee is a quality opponent that you're likely going to see either in a regional or specifically in a super regional. So can you play them well at home and win this series and take some momentum with you into the postseason in this final week? And I think that they can. I think what we've seen from this Arkansas team, even though we've seen ups and downs, is a team that is got all the pieces when they're clicking at the right time and they're clicking together to not only be one of the best teams in college baseball, but to make a postseason run to Omaha like we've seen in the past. We just need to see it this weekend to feel good about what we can expect in the postseason.
Yeah, so you mentioned now what the SEC tournament means, right? If we ever needed an example of the meaninglessness of an SEC tournament, softball canceled the championship game, did not try to reschedule it for the next day. As my understanding when it comes to softball pitchers, it's not even close to the same idea as overtaxing an arm like you can in baseball. So I don't know if that was a factor. It was 2 teams that may end up facing each other for a national championship, but that came off just so odd. I wonder what you thought.
Yeah, it did, because the way that the statement read, and again, it's just the statement, so tone and all of those things are up to the interpretation of the reader. It was, well, we are going to have to postpone this, and because of weather, there's no chance of rescheduling, so congratulations, OU and Texas, you're co-SEC champs. Welcome to the league. And it's just like, wait, what? Like, you can't play this game on Sunday? It's not like these games take 5 hours. You could play this game in 2 and still be done by the time things are ready for the selection show on Sunday. That's what baseball does in the SEC tournament. They play, and same with basketball. They play on that Sunday, and then they find out their postseason fate at the end of the day. Like, you're telling me you couldn't play on Sunday? And especially with pitchers, you see these pitchers, they could pitch 3 days in a row if they need to. Their pitch counts can be up in the, for a 3-day stretch, they could pitch 300 pitches and be just fine. It just felt a little bit like an afterthought, and I know that there's been some discussion. I know people around the state have talked about, would they have done this with baseball? Would they have done this with basketball? No, I don't think that they would have. Well, and maybe it was in a consideration of, well. We know that OU and Texas are going to host anyways. It doesn't matter, but it just felt like it was too quick of a trigger to pull so early on Saturday with the SEC championship game in softball.
Well, it's still you got softball's got their best chance. Is this? Do you think this is Courtney's best team? This isn't the first time they've had a Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you make of the draw? Because it's one round at a time, obviously. So, if you advance, you're facing probably an Arizona team that's knocked you out once. But the draw was kind of tough for this regional in and of itself.
Yeah, I think this team has a really good argument to be Courtney Deifel's best team. I think we thought that with, that might have been 2019 or 2022. Time is so weird, and it's when they lost to Texas in that super regional. That team we also thought was a World Series championship kind of team, and this team might be better than that. But this team is just complete. From the bats to a person like Bree Ellis. I think Robin Herron is really solid in the circle. I wish they had a stronger number 2 arm behind Robin, but she has shown and proven that she can be the pitcher for them in the circle, and they need her to be. And they've got the defense. And I think that this is, with the road that they're on right now, with this regional, though it's tough, you draw Oklahoma State and Indiana here into town, and then you're matched up, and you host in Arizona if Arizona gets out of their own regional. This is the best draw for the Razorbacks, not having to go back on the road until they potentially get to Oklahoma City. I think that the way things line up for them, it's best case scenario. And for Courtney Deifel, yes, this is the best team, top to bottom. I think you could look back and say there were better players on other teams, but top to bottom, this is the strongest team that she's had since she got here.
Well, Alyssa, when you just look at what they've done on the road against these top seeds, they've played really well, and they've taken Oklahoma to the limit. I don't think anybody in the SEC is scared of Oklahoma right now, and they're been the dominant team, but they've taken their lumps. So it's like, okay, they put their shoes on the same way we do, and we've got a chance.
They're human, and I think that's finally what some of these teams are starting to realize. And I think that one sport that has probably benefited the most from the transfer portal and from the growth of it itself is college softball, because you don't have just OU is great, but you don't have that powerhouse where it's OU and everyone else. Texas has built itself into a solid program. Florida continues to be good and better every year. Florida State is there as well. You've got UCLA, Arkansas, teams like that in the SEC, Alabama, Ole Miss. Those teams are starting to even out the playing field a little bit in college softball. So, yeah, OU is scary. They're always going to be good. They're just so well coached, and what Patty Gasso has been able to do over there is incredible. But I think you're right. I don't think anyone steps on the field against them anymore and just automatically feels like they're going to lose and they don't have a chance. And it's why the SEC was so competitive as it was this year, was because you have teams that are right there around the same level that OU carries and can win and can beat them on any given day.
Alyssa, let's leave it there. Right up against a break, so we'll start it and we'll get back with you next week. It's great to have you back with us. I'm glad you did well last week, but I knew you would.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Great to be with you, Clay. Great to hear from you. Enjoy New Orleans. If you need some food, Rex, let me know.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa.
Alyssa Orange with us each Tuesday on Halftime. I want to remind you about the Clay Maxey Auto Group. Promises to provide a level of service that maximizes your drive at every step in your car ownership experience. They feature personalized car buying, competitive, transparent pricing, and reliable and consistent repairs from factory-trained technicians that are on site. They always go beyond the sale to ensure a seamless, enjoyable, and tailored experience that fits your vehicle needs. Clay Maxey Auto Group is located in Harrison, Mountain Home, Clinton, and Berryville. They're also online at claymaxeyautogroup.com. They ask for the opportunity to maximize your drive today. We'll be back in just a moment here on Halftime.
Don't you worry, son. It will all be over soon.
This is halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is halftime.
All right, let's break someone's clavicle on 3. 1, 2, 3. Break someone's clavicle! Hit the field. Let's go. Move it, move it.
Family. That's what sets us apart. Crabtree RV Center, founded in 1950 by E.J. and Aline Crabtree, family owned and operated, serving Arkansas for 74 years.
I've been working full-time here at Crabtree RV since 1996 after graduating from the University of Arkansas, where I'm proud to carry on my grandparents' legacy.
I know if Mom and Dad could see Crabtree RVs today, they would be so proud.
Crabtree RV Center in Alma, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts need, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Forest Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Forest Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoForestGrid.com. That's GoForestGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoForestGrid.com. Forest Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-294-0222. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-294-0222. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-0222. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Just see the sky thinking that we've been lost. Maybe when it's time it's all we need. I can't I'm so sad at night. Jumping off a bridge, it's just so fun.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Person I'm feeling best for today is our friend C Maverick, because his Mavericks are now irrelevant once again. Big celebration yesterday when you got your draft lottery, C Maverick.
And I got to tell you, I have a little more pep in my step today. It's like a total opposite feeling than I had. I mean, it's exciting having the number one pick, but there's always that, kind of worry.
There's uncertainty.
There's always that uncertainty. So, I mean, I'd rather have it than not. It gives them a little bit more, but it also gives Nico a lot of responsibility to mess something up. So a part of me is a little leery that this may not work out the best way.
Who do you want him to take, Flag or Giannis?
Man, I honestly, with Cooper being so young and him having such an upside,
Giannis feels like a Dallas. He just feels like
is he a Dallas guy?
He's gritty.
I don't know that he even wants to be at Dallas,
but he's not a big market guy, is what I'm saying. I think he likes the low key, the low life.
Yeah, I think he could be like a good fit, personality wise, but I don't know if his game really. I mean, he's more of a under the basket type player, which is good, and he plays good defense. But I just like what Cooper Flag brings. He brings a great defense. He brings some size, and he can shoot it. So I would rather go with Flag, but I'm not making the decision. So, Nico may make the right choice. He may not. Who knows?
Well, it's never a guarantee when your favorite team gets the first overall pick that it's going to turn the franchise's luck around. Just take a look at the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have maybe the best pitcher in the game, and they still stink. They still lose games that he starts. So it's just a little different trying to turn things around with a number one pick on a basketball team compared to baseball. Spurs still weren't really all that good, but they were better than they were the year before, thanks to Wemby.
I sense bitterness.
Spurs got the number 2 pick, too.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
Wow.
What's that, Clay?
I sense bitterness when you when you talk about that they're so bad, even though they got the best player, best pitcher in the game.
It's bitterness in the form of almost
give up.
Pity on the people that work there, pity on the fans that choose to spend there. I would still go to a game there because I love watching a baseball game. It's just I probably wouldn't really root very hard. That's the thing. I almost gave up my fandom here.
Sounds like it. That's what I'm saying.
But there's nobody else to root for. I can't. I tried choosing another team.
It's not bitterness. It's frustration, right?
Yes. Yeah. And it's not a matter of just a bad year or two. We're talking 30 years.
Good reason. Yeah.
30 years of futility of proof that it's just not about to get any better. And I told you I would throw a parade for 82 and 80. Like, just more wins than losses. I'd celebrate, and then hopefully you go from there.
They're not close to that, though.
Oh no, they won't get. They 82 wins. If you start by right now, they'll get 82 wins by the end of next season.
Do you think 65?
No.
You think 50?
I hope not. I'd like them to lose every game. Then goes and the guy sells the team. Sell the team. Whatever it takes to sell the team. That's what I want to happen.
But you want it to stay there. I mean, it's the sad part is that's once proud franchise. They had great teams. When I was young and watching Willie Stargell and We Are Family, all that, yeah, they were really good.
And it was 40. It was like 46 years ago.
Yeah,
it just depresses me even more.
I mean, I just said when I was little. It's and I'm 70. When I was little, that's a long time ago.
That's why I love being a part of Arkansas baseball. It's an organization that tells you they try to win. They really do try to win, and then they go out and they win a lot of games.
And then they win. Yeah.
Cecil's here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Cecil, what's up? How are you?
Hey, fellas, how y'all doing? I just want to talk a little NBA.
Sure.
I'm letting my partner Matt know that Boston's done, and New York's moving on.
Justin, it looks like Tatum's done too for a while.
That was a bad injury.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Now, let me say this now. Tatum, if the series was tied up 2-2 or something like that, Tatum would play. But Tatum ain't coming back because he has too much pride to come back. And by lose, and then he had a great game. Matter of fact, I want to say that's his best game ever in playoffs.
42 points, right?
He hit 42, Clay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 42. That's pretty impressive.
Hey, Clay, let me say this real quick. I've never been fishing in my life. I'm 60 years old today, and I've never been fishing. And maybe you can email me something how to fish, man, because I really would like to go. I'm gonna put that on my bucket list.
You just come on over here.
Okay, I sure will.
Yeah, just come over.
But let me get back to Tatum. Tatum is not going to come back because of he know they're going to lose. So
well, isn't there? He's got an MRI that he's undergoing today. So it looked like it's a pretty bad injury. I don't know if he'd be able to come back. I mean, how quickly would you be able to bounce back from maybe an Achilles, bad Achilles injury?
It's politics too, though. You just never know, though. But I know he ain't going to play, though. So and Boston's done. But Boston got a good team, but New York is a better team this year. And Bronson is very exciting. I love watching that man play. He is great. Oklahoma City, I said this a while ago when we actually lost that game, the first game against Denver. And if y'all remember, I said that Chet can't hold the Joker. He's too little. He run out of gas. Jalen's a bigger. He's not taller, but he's way bigger. He's bulkier, strong. Jalen can shoot trays. He can bring the ball down. Jalen can do a lot of stuff, and he need to get more minutes, and we'll knock them on off and keep going. I don't know what the deal is with Isaiah. I don't know, man, what they got going on. I know when the rotation was 9 and 10, we was winning all through the season, and then I looked at the rotation again. It was 6 and a half. Basically, it was 7 players that was actually playing in the game. And I didn't understand that. I don't know what's wrong with the coach. I don't even know his name, but he need to do a little bit better on the rotation, and we'll move on. But guys, I just wanted to share that, man. I got some customers in here, and they said, hey, they'll wait for me. And he came all the way from Atkins, wherever that is. Altus, wherever that is at. So let me go serve him up, and y'all have a blessed day.
Yeah, you got
Come
it.
see me, Cecil. We'll go catch some fish.
I love it. It's part of Cecil's marketing plan. Come on over to Jazzco Graphics and just hold on a moment while I talk to my favorite sports radio program. Then I'll help you.
Yeah, that's right. He and I will sit on the log, and we'll talk about some basketball.
Here's another one that says that the draft lottery is rigged. I mean,
I don't think so.
I'm not really sure that actually, like, you could say it could happen. Could it happen? Could the NFL really send a script out to all the players? Rig the draft too. Rig the NFL draft.
Only the good players get the script.
There you go. Yeah. Only the good teams.
I wonder what the Spurs would do though, because I like that big Cooper Flagg's teammate. That's he's power forward. You got young Wemby. Be interesting to see you got Steven Castle, who's the rookie of the year. Be interesting to see what they do. Do they make a play to get Giannis?
They got to take Cooper. No, I think you got to do that.
Well, if you're the Spurs, if you're the Spurs, do you try to get just like it worked the one time
if
with
Giannis isn't going to resign, and then it's say you go get you trade the number 2 pick for him, especially if he's not going to resign.
Duncan and Robinson coexist. I know it's a different game, but
no, you give me the best players and we'll figure it out. Like it does, they can coexist.
Wemby and Giannis on the same team. It'd be an interesting idea. If I'm the Spurs, I'd entertain this. Now, you're going to probably have to trade more than just the second pick, I'd imagine. But that would be
yeah. I mean, you're dreaming if you think you can get him with the second pick. Just that they gotta have more than that, and I think that will work out for the Spurs.
BE reminds me of the frozen envelope, but see, like does the NBA really care about NBA in Dallas to the point where they would try to maneuver this?
Oklahoma City is one of the best teams in the NBA.
Like the whole thing with the Knicks, like that is the center of professional basketball, the mecca of basketball. New York City, Manhattan, and Madison Square Garden. I don't think I can appreciate the idea of, all right, well, you send your best guy over to the Lakers and we'll do something for you. I don't know if I buy that at all. I would buy rigging to get the best player in college to the Knicks in 1985. Absolutely, I would. But I don't know if I buy it for this with Dallas specifically. And also for Luka going to the Lakers, I mean, how'd that work out? It didn't really work out so well. So anyway, I just think you're going to find a conspiracy in a place where you want to find a conspiracy if you want to. So those who want to see a conspiracy in the NBA draft lottery, have at it. I don't see it. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. I'd seen through the draft combine measurements. I found this kind of interesting. So Boogie was 6'2" on the roster, on the online Razorback roster. He measured 6'2" at the NBA combine. Carter Knox measured 6'6" on the roster online. He measures 6'5" at the combine. Now they measure you in no shoes. You're just barefoot. Adu Thero, he must have gained a little bit because he was 6'8" on the Razorback roster. 6'6" and a quarter is what he measured yesterday, with a 7-foot wingspan too. Anyway, it's just, but they didn't give Boogie any extra inches. They gave Knox an extra inch, and it looks like Thero got an extra 1 3/4. Maybe it was just a matter of the thickness of the shoes. I don't know. That might have been what it was.
It's always about the shoes. Yeah, I used to talk to Nolan about it, and it's like you measure them with the shoes or the shoes on or the shoes off. And he says, Clay, have you ever seen anybody play barefooted?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
That's the same idea. I think in the NHL, like with hockey, everybody's playing on skates, but when you're being measured, I think you're measured just barefoot. You're not measured in your skates.
Yep.
It's different things for different sports, I guess.
Bill, I got a problem.
Shoot.
I need your help.
Okay.
So I'm going to play in this golf tournament, and we got a pretty day, and the river's low. There's people waiting right behind the house, fishing. Do I honor my partner and go practice golf this afternoon, or do I go fish?
All right, I'm going to have to think on this for a moment. I'll have an answer for you after the break. How about that?
Okay.
Stay with us. We'll answer Clay's question. We'll also bid him adieu for the remainder of the day, and we'll come back, wrap up the second hour right after this.
His mama named him Clay. I'm going to call him Clay.
This is Halftime.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Every great team has its core players, but when the season gets tough, adding the right free agent can make all the difference. The same goes for business. At Robert Half, we found that 67% of companies surveyed plan to increase their use of contract talent to handle workload peaks and backlogged projects. With Robert Half's specialized recruiters' experience, combined with our award-winning AI, you can quickly find the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Discover how we can help at roberthalf.com/talent.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It works worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment, and of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird, Limbird Real Estate Group, has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team can give you a cash offer in 72 hours, or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home, quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
She didn't care, but anyway, I told her we'd still be friends, and she didn't care, but anyway, I told her we'd want to go, and she wanted home, but anyway, I think I'll spend my life, Lord, I really don't care right now, but anyway, the state of affairs.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, we'll bid adieu to Clay Henry for the end of this segment. And everybody basically is saying on the text line here, go fishing, Clay. Or offer, BE says, offer the partner to go fishing with you. I just think that the partner's probably waiting for you in Louisiana.
He's in Covington, Louisiana.
Yeah.
David Cottrell. Yeah, I may try to do both. I mean, that's the obvious answer is do both. You know, it's like you can go practice, hit balls for a little while, work on my putting, work on my chipping a little bit. Short game's what scares me a little bit. I mean, I've played some scrambles this spring, but I've not played anything where I have to play out my ball in a match play format. And we're going to play 5 9-hole matches in 2 days.
Are you competitive, Clay? Are you like Tennessee baseball? If you lose, you won't, the other guy's going to look at you and you're saying, get away from me. Start pushing them away.
No, I take my hat off and shake their hand. I play gentleman golf. Very much enjoy the competition, but I'm not very good around the green anymore because that's not what I practice. So I will probably let my partner down with some bad chip shots. I'm going to try to get in the sand a little bit, practice my sand shots. I used to be really, really good at sand. So, I mean, my handicap's been down in the single digit for a long time, but it's not now.
Well, I hope
Hey, there's good news. I get to play the forward tees since I'm 70. I play the up tees. You know, some of the guys that I'm playing against will be playing the back tees.
There you go. A little closer for you. Those are certain. I think those are the ones I'd need to be hitting.
Every little bit helps.
Well, safe drive tomorrow, Clay. And again, stay. You're not driving through it, but stay out of Lake Providence.
I will do it. I understand exactly what you're talking about. It's like that town. You have to. It goes from 60 to 35, like with no warning. And
that's right.
That's what they get you in Lake Providence. And as you're going to the other end of Lake Providence, you see a couple of prisons. Yeah, Did you remember the prisons? I always thought, oh, I'll slow down.
The one that really frightened me was just north of Baton Rouge. I drove right by the Louisiana Correctional Facility for Women, and I'll bet you
that's when you get a speeding ticket.
I'm staying out of that place, man, for certain. Staying out of any prison. Stay out of any prison whatsoever, and I want to stay out of that one.
Yeah, good luck, Clay. Hit him good.
Yeah, it'll be fine. There's going to be good food. I'm sure we'll have some gumbo and all that good Cajun stuff.
Well, stay with us for the third hour of halftime, folks. That's for our listeners, Clay, not you, because you're getting out here. But, we always appreciate you joining us. 877-377-6963. Our Lewis Automotive Hotline, Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, about 20 minutes from right now. And we are right back after the break.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
For 38 years, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts has been trusted as your one-stop for all your vehicle's needs. Keep draining your battery? Get a great deal on a Superstart battery and any of the products you need for the do-it-yourself upkeep of your car or truck. When you need work done, Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts does everything from oil changes, brakes, alignments, diagnostic work, air conditioning, and more. That's Mansfield Automotive Parts City Auto Parts in downtown Mansfield, open from 8 to 5:30 Monday through Friday until 1 o'clock on Saturdays.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new Ultra Matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at precisiondoornwa.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, some areas of fog to start, then sunshine. Our high temperatures in the low to mid 80s. We're going to be clear to partly cloudy tonight. The overnight low will drop down into the low 60s. Wednesday, plenty of sunshine, a high in the mid 80s north, low 90s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grain Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Home runs are good. Home runs score runs quick.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What angle one Razorback?
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Oh, yeah, getting the hot weather coming in sometime soon. By the end of the week, we should get into the high 80s, 90 degrees in parts of the state as well, maybe even a little hotter farther to the south. Great to be with you at 1:01 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, the Sea Maverick with us, and we've got another hour left. Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio about 15 minutes from right now. If you want to get in, Lewis Automotive Hotline open, 877-377-6963. So we had the Razorback Road Show on the road, Searcy, Memphis today. Got Arkansas baseball with Tennessee on Thursday, softball Friday, kind of got into all of that stuff. Got into did Taylor Green chase out any of the receivers? Got into that a little bit. Drip of the NFL schedule. Oh, here's one I wanted to hit on with you, Matt. J.J. Andrews is the son of Sean Andrews. He's the top basketball player in the state of Arkansas. He goes to Little Rock Christian. 6'7", 215 pounds. Cal wants him. And there's a legacy for you right there. I think you've talked about Sean Andrews as a basketball player too. Didn't I hear you talk about that before?
I've played hoop with Sean when he was a freshman up there. Yeah, the thing about Sean, Phil, and we played a couple years of basketball as well, and Ronnie Brewer was a freshman, and he was better than everybody, as a freshman. That's how Sean Andrews was. He walked on campus as a freshman, and he was better than everybody, like already. So his bloodline, you got to think that his son's probably pretty decent as well.
It's a 4-star. ESPN's got him rated number 8 small forward in his class. He would be a 2026 incoming freshman. His mom played basketball at Western Carolina, so he's got athletic bloodlines on both sides there. So
that's kind of like Anthony Black. I think that was the last guy we had that was a lottery pick that came to Arkansas. Both his parents played like college soccer.
Yeah. So that's Thursday. He'll be making his announcement about that, and it'd be good to get an Arkansas kid on there. You get Isaiah Seeley is Arkansas. He's from Springdale, so he's in the next incoming class, and I think that's it in terms of kids from the state of Arkansas. And man, I mean, if you're going to be the Razorback coach, this is a hotbed. Like Arkansas,
per capita, we got a lot of players in the league. Yeah.
Well, and just the state overall too. I feel like the state produces probably more than its share of really good basketball players. I mean, just look at guys that are in the NBA right now from the state of Arkansas. Probably a few more than you just expect for a state of the size.
Well, even a guy like Malik Monk, who didn't go to the University of Arkansas but grew up, Austin Reeves, same type of thing.
But that's also one of those situations too, kind of the same as with Malik. You feel you got an edge on getting this kid to come play for you because he's a legacy. Well, who did Malik choose to go play for? He went and played for Cal. He went and played for Cal at Kentucky. Now you get the legacy who's making his choice, and if he goes to where his dad played, he plays for Cal. So it's complete opposite of what it was the last time.
Times have changed. Malik would have been NIL wasn't out yet then, so you wonder. But
not legal, right?
Yeah, he would have been a high dollar item.
I bet he would have been. But I remember when he made that choice and it was public. Was there something about Marcus may have advised him to choose Kentucky, if I remember? I don't remember all the details about it, but you always feel like, well, if somebody's a legacy, well, then why wouldn't you go there? And you feel that the family member that may be advising you would tell you to do the same thing.
Who was the coach at Arkansas at the time? Yeah.
Well, that's there. I think, wasn't it Coach A? I think it was Coach A. Well, at that point, you had a lot of the high-end players that were choosing to go play for Cal at Kentucky. And in this case, you choose to play for Cal at Arkansas. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Jesse in Springdale asked if you watched Rounders, C-Unit. He did.
Sure did.
And so Jesse said the movie changed his life. Has this movie changed your life too?
It has definitely left an impression on me. It's not a movie I'll forget, but it is.
So did it leave enough of an impression upon you to where you want to be a professional poker player?
You know, I learned a lot about the game. I learned, how important it is to actually watch the other person instead of, it's not completely luck. A lot of it is, but a lot of it is skill too. Kind of like you said in the movie, it's a skill base, or it's a skill game. It's not a luck game. When he was trying to convince his wife or girlfriend, I guess, to not leave him, which she ended up doing.
Steinbrenner can't move the Yankees.
At the end, when he handed her
Steinbrenner in the third year of law school,
when he handed her that wad of cash, I bet she was thinking, man. But no, she knew the way that obviously the game can go. It can be really good to you, and then you can lose everything, which he did.
So listen to the philosophy. He's figured out poker as philosophy now.
I wouldn't want to do that as my living because like it's just so uncertain.
You'd always feel like you're on the edge.
Yeah.
It's like living on an edge, a straight razor edge, kind of. And here's the other thing too. And I'll bet you though, Matt, you know this kid who's sitting across from you for these last almost 3 years. C-Face has a poker face though. Like that, I have no poker face. I don't know about you, Matt, but C Maverick, he hides his emotions. Yeah. I bet you he'd be pretty good at this if he put in the effort.
I had a home run in when I was like 12, and my teammates said I didn't even like smile once.
Because why are you going to pimp something when you do it every day, right?
Yeah, and we were still losing, so I don't know if I was just so wrapped up in the game. I was excited, but I didn't show it. I don't know. I just kind of
see when it come down to a straight flush, he wouldn't pimp the straight. He wouldn't. Got that. Look at that. Read that and weep. Suck that right there. That straight flush. He would never do that.
But now,
wouldn't Andrew Fisher it.
If I want a bunch of money now, I don't know if I could contain myself. Man.
So what he would need help with, Matt, is he would need help with the smack talk. He's got the poker face down. He's got the love of the sport down. Yeah. I think he just needs help with the smack talk. I'm not very good at it.
Put your headphones in if you want to. And then a boss move, you put your headphones in, but you're not listening to anything. So then they thank you. Yeah.
That's a great reverse psyop.
Steinbrenner in year 3. Yeah.
I will say I'm very proud that C Unit decided on his own volition, because I've not given him an assignment of halftime homework yet. He's already watching George Carlin YouTube videos, and all I did was bring it up yesterday. If I pass this along to you, C comedy, I will go to my grave a happy person. Before Matt does too, by the way.
His bits on I know it's a controversial topic, but religion and just like and the politicians and people in general, that's you've got to watch it.
Well, there's about 50 years of material that you could go through at any one point. So when you mention it to Clay, he brings up Al Slate, the hippy dippy weatherman. Well, that was his 60s material that he brought a little bit into the 70s, and then he gave that one up. And then let's just say like the last 20 years of Carlin was not the hippy dippy weatherman.
Man,
not even close to it.
His delivery is great too.
And he's got good faces. He's got good funny faces as well. Oh, well, glad. I feel like I'm actually. I won't pop quiz you on any of this yet, but rest assured.
Okay, it's coming.
After this next weekend, when it is assigned to you, and I'll assign a specific album to you, there will be pop quizzes about this, and I know all of these things by heart. So if you thought that I was fired up when I met Jeff King, what do you think it was like when 12-year-old me met George Carlin, and I'd been listening to him for 3 years by then? Yes, I did. I had the 7 words you can't say on radio memorized at the age of 8.
I was looking for some like stuff to put into the show, incorporate, but like everything ends with like a F-bomb or just a cuss word.
There's a couple of them out there.
But that makes it funnier.
There's a couple of them out there that we might actually be able to figure it out. Yeah, I can help you with this. Jamie's right. It is a big club, and you're not in it. It's right about that. 877-377-6963 if you want to send me any of your favorite Carlin lines. I'll tell you about Rowback while you're doing it, the brand that redefines comfort. Rowback features the best hoodies, the best joggers, best polos, and best performance tees, and they're all about best fit and best feel. Rowback's fabric quality is what sets them apart. Everything's buttery soft and stretchy in all the right ways and amazingly comfortable. The Rowback hoodie is going to be the softest hoodie you own. The Sprint joggers, pair those with the Spring Golf Collection, and you're absolutely golden. It's Rowback. You get 20% off your first order at checkout if you enter the code RUSH25 at checkout. Rowback.com, RHOBACK.com. 20% off your first order when you enter the checkout code RUSH25. Before the break, it's Big Keith. Hey, Big Keith, what's up?
Big Keith up in the house.
In the house.
What's up, Phil? What's up, Matt?
Just a good day, man.
Hey, man, I heard that your buddy there talking about how he hit a home run that didn't even smile or nothing like that.
See Homer, that's right.
I guess it's hard to smile when you're down 42-2. You know,
someone could tell Jonah Williams that, the kid from Texas who pimped the walk down 8-1.
Yeah. I was going to ask you guys, what do you think about the softball team going to the super regionals? I think they should be able to do it. And then on Tennessee, I was going to get your thoughts. I think they're going to sweep Tennessee. And that's all I had today. Thanks, guys.
A sweep would be a tall order just because that means you beat Liam Doyle, who may be a front runner for SEC Pitcher of the Year. And like Tennessee, while I think they've lost 4 straight series, 5 of the last 6, they also haven't been swept. Doyle is a major reason why. So look, I didn't think they'd sweep Texas. They swept Texas. I don't really think they'll sweep Tennessee, but the last time they hosted Tennessee at Baum Walker, they swept Tennessee. And I think this team is certainly can pull it off. I think Arkansas is a much more complete team than Tennessee is. Just got to put it together over the course of the series. And in terms of softball, this is as good of an option for Arkansas to make it to a super as any other. Playing at home, I understand Oklahoma State is probably one of the better 2 seeds, but you're playing at home. I think the only home series you've lost is to Oklahoma. I think they'll be fine. A super regional against Arizona, that may be a different situation. That's a better Arizona team. All right, we'll break on halftime, and in a moment, it's Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio. Stay with us.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Sandy White perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie.
Nice speck. We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Taco Bell brought back crispy chicken nuggets, and I can't believe how good they are.
Why can't you believe it?
Because you're Taco Bell. Taco Bell.
Yeah, but a taco place can do nuggets, right?
Yeah, the Hidden Valley Fire Ranch is awesome.
Okay, they're good, but we're not a chicken place.
When did you guys become a chicken place?
Chicken? Can't a taco place do good nuggets? Are we not allowed to do both?
What do you mean?
You think it's cool to do both, right? Why are you looking at me like that?
Are they okay?
I don't think so.
We're totally a taco place that's a chicken place that's also a taco place.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started. Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Like that all day.
I need to sit though. Finally make a putt. What the tap in pars?
Golf is back. Shop polos, hoodies, and Q-zips at rowback.com.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing and we're into the NBA and NHL playoffs, and BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the best online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet online. The game starts here.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came
Carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this plus a drink for only $8.99. Golden Corral, 1801 South Waldron, Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Got Bill King with us here, Nashville Sports Radio, the king of college football talk, hosting Monday through Friday, 6 to 9, and gives us some of his time on Tuesdays, and we always appreciate that. Bill, how you doing today? What's up?
Hey, guys. Doing good.
I was listening to your show a little bit this morning. Sounds like you got a commitment coming on this weekend. So I have a cousin who I met who lives in Seattle, but he's a Florida fan. He grew up in Gainesville. He came into Gainesville for the Arkansas-Florida baseball series, but he had to come in a day late because he's really into whiskeys. I mean, he trades whiskeys, and he had a whiskey event the day before he can make it to Gainesville. And as I'm listening to you speaking about what your event sounds like this weekend, I think it's commitments. It almost also sounded like a whiskey event, too.
Oh, maybe a couple of us are wannabe whiskey snobs, for lack of a better description. Most of the guys drink a little beer, don't drink at all. But yeah, there'll be a couple of us, about 5 to 10 of us, that will get into the whiskey snobbery game. Yep.
That's fun. Now these are like listeners of yours that you've become friendly with over the years, and where are you guys all getting together?
In Destin, Fort Walton Beach. Some of them are folks I know. A lot of them folks I don't know. And so we meet them, go down there, we hang out. I do my show Friday morning. I only do about an hour. And then I just turn it over and let the hoodlum, I let the peasants take over and let them have fun on mic. I'm obviously being facetious there, but yeah, I let them have a couple of hours of it, and I don't do anything. They ask me about the trip. What are you doing? Nothing. The answer is nothing. I'm just chilling.
That's great. All the listeners get along too. It's a little different than Rome, where they're smack talking each other and everything. Is this a spring commitment? Because you're thinking of another time where guys are committing, and it's still kind of happening. Though I did see it was unnamed Power 4 coaches to a reporter, didn't want to put their name out there, but they said that they didn't want to get anybody in the portal right now. The word they used was trash. They said everybody in the portal right now is trash. And I don't know, maybe that's the Power 4 may view it, but I'm not sure if that's how the rest of Division 1 would view it.
Even decades ago, before the freebie transfer vigilante era we now all live in, when you would have a guy that announced that he was leaving, or let's say it was a junior college player who had not signed yet by February, because he's one of the last guys standing, he becomes ultra attractive as a player. Not his abilities that are probably relegated to averageness. But anytime you're kind of a holdout and there's this frenzy out there, there's this build-up based on nothing when it comes to players. And that's probably what they're referring to.
So you know that there's a big series baseball coming up at Baum this week. Tony V's Vols are showing up, and a team that's kind of desperate right now. I know they're supposed to play Belmont today, and I keep looking on their Twitter to see if they're going to cancel the game or not, if they're going to find a way to maybe turn the lights off so that they can't play, because it's the kind of game that even when you win, it's going to hurt your RPI. So the Washington Huskies played an NAIA school a week ago. I don't know why they schedule an NAIA school, but they did. And they're losing the game. I mean, Washington's on the bubble for the NCAA baseball tournament. They're losing the game, and all of a sudden, the lights malfunctioned. Out of the blue, stopped working. They couldn't finish the game. It ended up not even being a forfeit. It ended up being a cancellation. It was like that's what you kind of expect this time of the year. I think Tennessee will play though, Bill, but they're not playing really well right now.
They're not, other than Liam Doyle, who's a beast and might be the first pitcher taken. They're not doing anything. Their other pitchers aren't effective. They don't hit particularly clutch hit. Now, a couple of the players do, but I'm talking about the lineup. And they boot the ball all over the infield defensively, and you can get a 390 feet on them anytime you want stealing. This is Tony's worst team since probably he took over his first couple of years, because that year 3 team he had 2020, he will tell you might have been his best team, better than the 22 team, which dominated the planet until the Notre Dame series, and last year's team that won it all. The 2020 team might have been his best team. This team is one of his worst teams of the 8. It just is. And I don't look. If you said, Bill, you can play baseball god for Tennessee right now. We'll give you one win of the 3. I'd probably take it.
Yeah, that's kind of the way that I was viewing them too. Did you see? We saw this kid with Texas a couple of weeks ago, Jonah Williams. He's an outfielder, but he's also I think he's the top safety recruit in the nation. But he reported early to Texas to play baseball. I don't know if he was hurt or if he was at spring practice and he started baseball season late. But man, he's an interesting kid, and he looks like right now it looks like he's pretty big, but he looks like he's also got a ton of room to fill out, and he's going to hit like a train. And I'm talking both in terms of baseball and football.
He probably hadn't had time to get seriously in the weight room or anything. No, this kid's a superb athlete, no doubt about it. And it'll be fun to watch how he goes back and forth between the two. But the guy that good, you kind of have to let do it.
He had some interesting antics during a walk down 8-1. It was just, it's kind of like,
I saw it.
Did you see it? It was very odd. I don't know. It's like, that's the kind of thing you got to maybe talk to a kid about. Look, we love your intensity, but maybe don't scream after every single pitch that you take.
I know that is unusual. He's mocking the pitcher or challenging him or whatever he's doing, literally in between pitches, and it was odd. The Tennessee Vanderbilt game got a little chippy too, but that's not that's a nationally known rivalry, but it's a century-plus old rivalry. And Tennessee's so frustrated right now. They were chirp. Anytime Tennessee could do anything good, which was rare, they would chirp at Vanderbilt's dugout. So that one got a little chippy, but not like the Texas situation you're talking about.
Well, I think this last weekend we might have had the most surprising outcome of any of the sports that we speak of on this show or any other. Thinking of Missouri sweeping Texas A&M. I can't think of another outcome that's occurred this year that actually compares to that. Like maybe even Vanderbilt beating Alabama, but that Vandy was a lot better than, they just were a lot better. Missouri had lost 24 straight league games, and they were routinely getting their brains beat in. That one just didn't make any sense, and now it's over for A&M, and you got to wonder if they stick with the coach, if they stick with Michael Early.
Since the Tennessee series when they won 2-3 against them in Knoxville, and at the time Tennessee was ranked number 1, I believe, all the goodwill that they had regained from that moment to, let's say, this last week was completely erased this past weekend, completely negated.
Yeah, it really felt like it. That's for sure. Well, it looks like we're up against it here, Bill. Let's leave it there. Appreciate you hopping on. We'll do it again next week as long as you got the time. Have a great spring commitments with your group and a safe drive down to Fort Destin Beach.
Oh, you whiskey snobs, you're welcome to come down. You're invited.
It sounds like it'd be a good time. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, with us here on ESPN Arkansas. We'll open up the Lewis Automotive Hotline here at 877-377-6963. Stay with us. Back for the home stretch in just a moment.
We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
This is halftime.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Mother's Day is coming up fast and you don't want to drop the ball. Show the incredible moms in your life how much you love and appreciate them with a thoughtful gift from Pro Flowers. Ordering takes just minutes, and Pro Flowers' large selection of modern arrangements at affordable prices are sure to make you look like a gift-giving pro. Visit proflowers.com/sports or use the code SPORTS at checkout for $15 off your Mother's Day order. All Pro Flowers orders are backed by our 7-day freshness guarantee, so you can gift easy with Pro Flowers.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
Protect what matters most with the Fence Man. From heavy-duty security fencing to powered automatic gates, the Fence Man's got Fort Smith covered. The Fence Man has served the Fort Smith area for over 40 years. Custom built and built to last. Free quotes, financing for 18 months. When it comes to security fencing, nobody builds it better than the Fence Man. Call 479-782-3936 or visit thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
It's all about connections. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center with Shared Beginnings invites you to their Community Connections event on Saturday, May 17th from 10 to 2. Everyone is invited to a fun-filled, action-packed day with vendors, food, car seat demonstrations, mommy makeovers, giveaways, games, and lots of fun. For more information about this event or to participate as a vendor, call 452-2260. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center with Shared Beginnings. The Community Connection event, May 17th.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Can you hear me calling out your name? You know that I'm falling and I don't know what to say. Speak a little louder, I'll even shout. You know that I'm proud and I can't get the words out.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Want to go to our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Got Steve in Fort Smith has given us a call. Hey, Steve, how you doing today?
I'm good. Phil. How are you, buddy?
Great, thank you.
Good. Been trading some jokes, the safety lecture jokes with you here.
I see you on our Lewis Automotive text line. That's right, from the safety lecture.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see him in Fort Smith back in around 2000, 2001. One of the most fun times I've ever had in my entire life. That was a great comedy show.
I was lucky enough to see Carlin perform live I think it was 8 times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, last one would have been, I think, Memphis, 2001 or 2002. Yeah, when I say he's one of my idols, like, truthfully, there's really nobody that reaches quite to his level in my eyes.
Oh, absolutely. Greatest comedian of all time. Absolutely. So, but question for you. Iredale.
Yes.
What do we do? I mean, what do you think he's so up and down, and it's like he's not seeing the ball very well. Do you move him down in the lineup? I mean, you hate to take his glove out because his glove has gotten so much better this year, but his bat has just kind of disappeared. And I don't know.
I don't think they can take him out of the lineup. I just don't know of another third baseman. And look, the series before against Texas, you started to see him go the other way a lot more. They're opening the right side for him. He would go with it through the right side, especially on 2 strikes. but it was a different style of pitching with LSU, and he had trouble. You know, they threw hard fastballs inside, and that's been an issue for him this year. There's still going to be moments where I think it's not overmatched. I don't think he's overmatched. I think that there's just a specific spot where he's susceptible, and it's a good fastball inside. You know, that home run hit against Texas, they gave him a pitch that's right there in the wheelhouse, that just those low pitches around his knees. You know, how did he get that up in the air, and how did it get out of the park? Well, his swing was conducive for it. But he's too good of a third baseman, and there's no one else that's going to be that's a third baseman at the moment. I mean, as of now, you know, you're down to a third second baseman. You got Robinette and Pepe splitting time at first base, and there aren't any other infielders to take over third base. And he is a really good third baseman. I mean, he did a couple of errors in the series at LSU, and I guess you'd say concerning, but he's been really steady there. And they have moved him lower in the order. And moving Helfrich up in the batting order, Helfrich has started to produce in the way that I think we would have hoped that Iredale was. Maybe not in terms of the home run power, but he's coming awfully close. I mean, he had a couple of doubles down the left field line and hitting fifth. I mean, that's as high in the batting order as Ryder's ever hit at Arkansas, Steve. And, you know, 5 is where Iredale had been hitting, 5 and 6. And if there's an issue with leaving some men on base, well, then he's been one of those guys who's been leaving men on base. I think moving Helfrich up into the middle of the order, well, it helped in the LSU series. It helped on Sunday when he did hit fifth. And I think I wouldn't be surprised if he still hits there for the foreseeable future. As long as he's hitting, you know, they'll keep him there.
Yeah, and keep Brent down in the lower part of it, and just, you know, hope for the best. I mean, but no, I agree. You can't take his glove. His glove has improved so much this year. It really has. I've noticed it from game one. So anyway, thank you guys for taking my call, and have a great day.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, Steve. 877-377-6963 for calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Yeah, I don't know if you've had the kind of production that was hoped for from Iredale, and you know, I'm thinking specifically in terms of SEC production. You know, he's been hitting in the low 230s in SEC play. Power numbers not quite where they are against non-conference, and RBI numbers aren't quite where they were either. You know, the two guys that now I don't think you'd probably don't move Justin Thomas out of the number 9 spot, even though he's taken over the team lead in on-base percentage. I know Dave puts a premium on when you have somebody who's comfortable 9th and is hitting well 9th. He keeps him 9th sometimes. And I don't know where else you'd hit Thomas except top of the batting order in Davalon. So if you move Thomas to the top, well, where do you move Davalon? In more of a run-producing spot in the batting order, or do you keep, you know, you're not going to move him all the way to 9th? But right now, Thomas is a guy that just is getting on base. He's getting his walks, hitting for a little bit of power. He's a really interesting hitter, and I think moving Helfrich into the middle, that paid dividends Sunday. Hopefully it will against Tennessee. Jim in Springdale is next. Jim, thanks for calling the Lewis Automotive Hotline. What's up?
Hey, guys. I love when you talk Arkansas baseball. It is interesting to think about Thomas first and maybe Davalon second and then the Eloy guys. But, and of course, Maxwell's health, you know, is a factor because you still want him, you know, as high as you can in the order. But I just had a question for you about Iredale. You know, he gets hit by so many pitches and so many walks. I know his on-base percentage isn't as bad as his batting average. That doesn't always drive in runs. But is he getting those many hit-by pitches because of what you're saying, that people – he got them early in the year too, though. People are pitching him inside more with those tight fastballs. So do you crunch him closer to the plate, you know, to take more, or do you step away from the plate? What do you think? What have you seen over your time of watching him and other players? And what would you, or maybe what is Hobbs going to suggest to him?
I don't know if it's a matter of him standing in a different spot in the batter's box, but yeah, I mean the reason that his hit by pitches are so high is because teams want to throw inside, and specifically it's fastballs that they're coming inside with him. I mean, he's probably been hit, I don't know how many pitches, is it 17, 18? I would guess 2/3 of those at least are fastballs. But I don't know if you change where it is that he stands there's just a little, and I'm no hitting coach, I'm not going to be very good at breaking down somebody's swing, but it does look like he gets underneath the ball a little bit sometimes. So whatever it is you got to do to stay on top of it, like that home run he hit against Texas was the most amazing home run, because how did he stay on top of a pitch that was thrown lower than his knees? It was just under his knees. But that's kind of his swing, which also means that he's having trouble with pitches sometimes that are top middle of the zone. And you got to find a way to, if you're changing your swing, well, you're changing a little bit about why you've already gotten here. So I don't think it's a matter of where he's standing. I think there's something in his swing where he's just getting underneath it. But he does reach base. Like, that's another aspect of it too. He's no automatic out. He definitely isn't. Like, he's got a 378 on base percentage in the SEC, which is good, especially for somebody hitting in the 230s. So he's finding ways to get on base, and sometimes it's because he's just standing there and taking one off his shoulder or off his backside.
Plus, you're right, his defense is so good. I know this whole WAR or wins over replacement, or, when you're in the lineup versus out of the lineup, how does the team do? His defense is so good. His leadership might be super strong. There might be other aspects of why Dave's keeping him there that maybe we don't always see everything.
Well, I think it's the position. First of all, I think it's the position that he plays. Third base, just because you can play the infield doesn't mean you can play third base. You try Gabe Frazier over there, he didn't look good at third base. Gabe Frazier's hurt as well. The other guy who could play third base is Nolan Souza. He's out for the season. So, there's two of your players who you think, well, try him over at third, but they can't do it right now. And the time that they did try Frazier at third base, he didn't look like he was comfortable at third base. And you have to have somebody that makes the routine play at third and occasionally make an amazing play. And that's what Brent is doing. If it was last year, there was a different situation. You got a guy like Jared Sprague-Lott who wasn't hitting much, but you also had a Peyton Holt who's played third base before, and a couple other guys that weren't hurt that could play third base. You're just in a position right now where, Reese Robinette is the other third baseman, but Reese is playing first base now because of the injury to Frazier, which take Kojal off first and puts him at second base. So there isn't anybody else to play third, and I don't think you'd take him out of the lineup anyway, because sooner or later he's going to run into one. You know what I mean? He's going to run into one with a couple of guys on base. He's going to take advantage of a mistake pitch, and he's going to hit a big home run in a game that really matters.
He's too talented not to do that. And I'll let you go here, but, you just hope that it all comes together, for Ole Miss and Mississippi State and others who got hot at just the right time to win those national championships. That's kind of what we're all banking on. Is everybody going to, for most people, get it all together at the same time to make that run? I think that's what everybody's kind of on the edge of their seat waiting for. It's kind of exciting, actually. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, you got it. Thank you, Jim. 877-377-6963. If any questions on the baseball team with it here. Caleb asks about how exciting it is to have all our pitching staff healthy for postseason. Well, that's good. Think of where you were at this point last year. Brady Tigard had the forearm strain. No, the forearm strain was the year before. I think there was something up with his shoulder. And Mason Molina had the ankle injury. You were down to one starting pitcher and throwing Will McIntyre as a starter when at the end of the season. You are much more healthier than you were last year, and you're getting guys back now that are dudes on your team. And getting Parker Coyle back is huge. I don't know what to expect from Hunter Dietz, because in terms of velocity and just overall stuff and how hot other programs were and Major League scouts were over him when he decided to go to Arkansas, Hunter Dietz can be a difference maker. I just don't know what role they'd be very comfortable with throwing him into. So he makes his season debut in a blowout game and throws a couple of pitches that are 97 and 98 and a really good-looking slider, but he also bounced a couple of them. And that was in a no-pressure situation, and a couple of those got past Helfrich. So I want to think that a guy as talented as Dietz, that you can throw him into a pressure cooker and he's got the stuff and the makeup to shine through. But when you haven't pitched at all year, like literally not all year, and you only pitched 2 innings last season, he has no experience, none in pitching in critical moments. So, I mean, I really want to think that he can make a difference for the Arkansas bullpen right now. And I think next year he'll make a huge difference for whatever role they throw him into. And I hope he'll be a starting pitcher next year. But when you have no experience and you're in your second year and you're still coming off an injury, I don't know what to expect from him. There's hope, and then there's legitimate expectations of what somebody in that role can give you. And I don't know what it is that he can give you. I think Coyle can give you more. Coyle doesn't have that stuff that Dietz has. I mean, he's picked up some miles per hour. He's got a good cutter, good breaking ball, and he's got a tremendous makeup and confidence in his stuff. And so these are two guys that are on opposite sides of stuff and makeup and experience. And Parker Coyle, I remember this against A&M. It's a game that Arkansas 2 years ago looked like they were about to blow on a Sunday, and Parker Coyle came in the ninth inning and saved the day out of the blue. He was the last guy on the roster for that series, and he had that experience there. Last year was up and down for Parker, and this year he was the best reliever the team had before getting hurt. And his fastball, it's probably on the bottom end of the velocity scale on this team. And that has nothing to do with the ability to pitch, because he's got a great ability to pitch. And the first thing he did coming off, well, it's not an injured list, first thing he had done in nearly 2 months was pitch in that pressure cooker moment, inheriting 2 runners on base in a 3-run game in the ninth inning at Alex Box Stadium on a Sunday where you're facing being swept, and pitching to the 5 and 6 hitters. And he shined. He came through. It was tremendous. Parker Coyle will have more to do with Arkansas making the College World Series this year than Hunter Dietz. And in just a moment, we'll break. I got to remind you, though, about Joe's Grilling Cantina. Tomorrow, kids get a delicious meal for $5. Joe's brings out the crayons for a coloring contest. Kids win great prizes, and it's karaoke night at Joe's Grilling Cantina every Wednesday night. They're at 3400 South 74th, across from Harps in Fort Smith, and online at joesfortsmith.com. We'll be back in a moment and wrap halftime up.
He beat me. Straight up. Pay him. Pay that man his money.
This is halftime.
Hey guys, it's Ethan here at Wheeler Power Sports, and we invite you to join us for our 58th anniversary Kawasaki Open House, May 16th and 17th at Wheeler Power Sports, featuring demo rides on many Kawasaki street bikes, including the Ninja 7 Hybrid, the Ninja 500, the Ninja 650, the Vulcan S, KLR 650, and the Eliminator. Mark your calendars for May 16th and 17th at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Attention business owners, are you overpaying for your website, dropping thousands up front and shelling out more than $95 a month? Stop the madness! With Modular Orange, you get a custom-built, fully managed website for just $95 a month. No hidden fees, no headaches. They write it, build it, launch it, update it, and secure it so you can focus on your business. Ditch the overpriced hassle and go simple. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
All power, zero compromise. Eagle cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So no matter what you're working on, the deals are blooming at the Home Depot with savings on plants, flowers, soil, and more. Then light up your outdoor space with Hampton-based string lights. Was $34.97, now only $19.99. And get the grill going with two 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal. Was $19.98, now only $17.88. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BREAK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful vet incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BREAK to 321-321. That's BREAK to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
No more tax. Rhodes Chevrolet Van Buren will pay you state sales tax on select 24 and 25 model Chevrolets. Stop in today and check out the great selection from Rhodes Chevrolet, and your state sales tax is paid. But you better hurry because this deal won't last long. Stop in and test drive your dream car, truck, or SUV and get your state sales tax paid. That means huge savings and more cash back into your pocket. Experience the Rhodes difference. Rhodes Chevrolet, 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren, where you get the best prices, period.
Simply no slack. Only you know that I will hard to get. Fucking crypto is bad for your health. I'm punching myself by the health. It's a policy. Policy. I'm sorry, sir, but you got to believe it's a policy. I'm sorry, sir, but you're gonna have to live.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
All right, wrap up the show here with a thought on Carson Beck. Mario Cristobal says that he is going to be able to participate in all team summer activities, approaching 100% after undergoing elbow surgery last year. It was Tommy John surgery, if I remember correctly, that he suffered in the SEC championship game. So quarterbacks very often, Matt, and it's just, we hear about it with baseball pitchers all the time. You got a guy in Aiden Jimenez who came back early from Tommy John surgery, earlier than expected.
More of the labrum, more of your shoulder. Yeah, it's kind of a different motion. You're still using your lower half and your top half, but it's a little bit different motion.
It's not. Usually, it's just pitchers that deal with Tommy John. If I think of any other position in baseball and any other position in any other sport, I don't hear about Tommy John surgery very much.
I thought it was crazy that stat Alyssa said about a starting pitcher in softball throw 300 pitches in 3 games. Like it's just and back-to-back days. That's wild.
Well, so look back at the career of Kent Tekulve, who was the slender, dark sunglasses wearing submarine pitcher for the Pirates when they last won a World Series. And he would throw sometimes 3 or 4 days in a row. But he was a submariner. He threw underarm, and he knew that your arm is designed for that motion. And even though, I've read this, humans are the only animal on Earth where we've got the kind of arm that can throw an object the way that we throw it, but it's still not a natural motion. But then if you add in trying to throw 102 miles an hour and manipulating the ball in very specific ways to get it to break or bend or fade or dip, then you're doing things that nobody else does, in terms of even football or a quarterback throwing it or any other position. Any other position, they're trying to throw it as straight as they possibly can. And they're never going to manipulate it the way that a pitcher does. But I mean, it would be interesting to see because this is an injury that occurred in December, and they're going to say he's at 100% by the summer, and then you're starting to play in late August. So just something to ponder
Carson
with
Beck,
Carson
I'd be
Beck.
getting a redshirt year and getting another $4.5 million again next year. Be like, yeah, I don't know, maybe you have to do it. It's NIL, it's not performance based. He's gonna make more money in college football than he will playing on Sunday.
Like by far, right? By far, wouldn't even be close. Man, could you get the $4.5 million if you sign the contract and then have to sit out a year?
Absolutely.
Better do your homework on whomever. Now, this Miami obviously would have known because this was a high-profile injury. It occurred during the SEC championship game, so it was nothing that you can hide. But I think of some of the injuries that even Arkansas athletes have shown up with that you weren't really aware of. Thinking of, why am I forgetting the big guy
from Tennessee?
Yeah, and his foot. I mean, that was something that he was dealing with previously. Thinking of Logan Maxwell. Maxwell at Arkansas, the right fielder. He's dealing with hamstring strains basically his entire life. Just going to have to find a way to make sure that you get the medical information before you commit to somebody. All right, well, that's it for halftime today. We invite you to stick around for Ruskin and Zach coming up in just a few minutes. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast has our conversations today with Clay Henry, with Alyssa Orange, Bill King. And tomorrow, no Clay. I'm not even sure if we've got Grant Hall since he's flying to, Charlotte for the PGA Championship. So it may be
nice.
Maybe a completely wide open show. And we'll look forward to meeting with you all tomorrow again. So for Matt Jones, for Christian Johnston, I'm Phil. We appreciate you listening to Halftime today. Now, get up, get out, and get better.